Hey, this is Mark Washington, MTC Media. Georgetown, Xavier pregame. Warriors come here into senior night off a dreadful 75-47 loss to Villanova. It makes them feel any better. The Musketeers have lost 4 out of 5. The one thing that they do have in common in the last 5 games, both teams have beaten DePaul. Take that for what that's worth. In the first meeting, it was an exciting one. It was 92-91. This is back when we had hope for Georgetown, because it just looked like if they could just win some of these games, these close games, that this season would look so different. And that just seems so long ago. If the Warriors want to execute their game plan tonight, I want to tell you right now, they're not going to score 90 points, and we'll get into that a little later. Earlier this week, I was at Georgetown's practice, had a chance to ask a few players, a few questions, including what do they think they could make a run? Same for Cooley. I asked him, with the month of March, that gives a different sense of excitement with teams being 0-0. That and much more in the media availability earlier this month.
Smile. Remember day one that was really hard to get?
All right, Wayne. Last song pretty soon. How are you feeling emotionally about that?
I'm ready. Just ready to go out there and get the dub and then celebrate.
Talk about this and recount your college career from your perspective, though.
Yeah.
Beginning to now.
Oh man, it's been a long journey. Starting off freshman year, had a good freshman year myself, but team success is all that matters. So didn't finish out well. Then we went off the COVID year, ended up getting hurt. Then coming here in my junior year, not being able to play off rep. And then coming off last season, now we're here. So it's been a long journey.
Where'd you get that stick-to-itiveness? A lot of cats might have said, forget this, or, they put their heads down. You kept on fighting.
Yeah, just my character. Just how I was raised. That's who I am.
From your mom or your dad?
Both.
Okay.
Going forward, getting to the Big East tournament, I know we're jumping a few games, but how do you feel about this team? Or what would you like to see you guys do in these last few games before you get to the Big East tournament?
Just continue to put things together. We work hard every single day, literally every day. We're in the gym, not only in practice, but we come in here by ourselves sometimes, get shots up or in groups, come up here and do some work and just put things together, especially on the defensive end.
Can you see this team making a run in the Big East tournament?
Most definitely, yes, sir.
If somebody was to define your college career, would stick-to-itiveness, would that apply? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, that being tough, resilient, just a working all around good guy.
Give me some advice for the DMV youngins who want to be in your shoes.
DMV youngins, that's where it's at right here.
Okay.
It's pretty much it. Coach Cooley's the guy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Good to see you as always, yeah.
All right. We'll start it off this time?
No, go ahead, bro.
All right. The song's about to end for you in college. Talk about it.
Yeah, man. It's been up and down journey. I've been playing basketball since I was 5 years old. So just to get here now, nobody thought I would be here. So senior night, it's really for my mom, my dad, my sister, man, everybody that watched me grow in the area playing basketball, man. Just give back to them and appreciate them. And I think it's gonna be a good night.
Been a rough 2 years. How are you managing now?
Yeah, just finish where I started. That's how my dad raised me. Very true to the work. Just keep going. That's all we could do. Just keep working.
You might not remember. You told me you got your game from your mom. You still feel that way?
Yeah, I definitely got my game from my mom. Or my attitude from my dad, but the skills from my mom for sure.
All right.
The T-shirt says "Make history now." Can this team make history in March and make a run in the Big East tournament?
I believe so. We all just trying to get better. Keep fighting. We got a lot of fight in us, a lot of pride in us. We've been down before and games came back. So I definitely believe in this team, believe in Coach, and I think we can.
And what would be a few things or a couple of things that you feel like you need to do better between now and when the tournament begins?
Defend. I feel like that's been a common issue all year. We obviously just scored enough points. Mainly tighten up on defense, rebound, and transition defense. And I think we'll get over that hump.
These Xavier guys get up and down the floor.
Yes, they do.
Are you ready to run with those guys?
I think we in shape to run with them. Shot selection will be big to set our defense going back. But I think we definitely can run with them, and I think we will.
I've known you since 9th grade. You're kind of like these cats in these DMV streets look up to you as somebody they can touch and relate to. What do you counsel them? What would you say? Somebody give them some advice about being in your shoes. What would you say?
Yeah, growing up in here, around here in this area, DC, Maryland, wherever you're from, Virginia, obviously it's a lot of challenges. But I would say just stay at the gym, stay true to yourself, be yourself, and always just keep working. Like I said, when I first started playing basketball, nobody would have thought I would have been at Georgetown. So it is definitely possible, and just keep working.
All right, thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Postmortem, Villanova, what happened?
Postmortem. You know, it was one of those days. You know, we didn't have energy, and then I think a lot of the credit goes to Villanova. They had a purpose. They were down a couple of their warriors. You know, a lot of people stepped up. That was one of Justin Moore's best games in a long time. So, you know, he woke up and became the Justin Moore that they're accustomed to having. You know, I thought Armstrong gave him great minutes, and then Dixon to me was a man amongst boys in that game. So they got a lot of contributions across the board, but them three in particular really, really stood out to me.
Now, you've been doing this thing for a long time. You know this coaching game, but you're dealing with humans. Like you said during the press conference, that you had some pretty good practice, and you didn't expect that kind of low level energy. Why do you think they showed up like that? Is that just a human being thing?
It could be. You know, I think your question's fair. Is it a human aspect to it? Is it lack of focus? You know, when you're having a year like we're having, you know, you still have to have purpose, drive, passion, right? Like I've always said, defense is a will and a want, and that just has not been the DNA of our organization. Well, I'm totally surprised at with our team, but there's still games left to be played, and we got to come out there and fight like there's no tomorrow. We got 2 back-to-back home games before we finish the regular season at St. John's.
Are the guys ready to run up and down the floor like Xavier?
You know, today we'll do something different. You'll be in practice today. Today's going to be a player's practice. I don't have one thing prepared for practice with respect to what we have to do to compete and play against Xavier. We'll systematically have that. I'm going to ask them what they want to do at practice. Today's a player's practice, not a coach's practice.
Between now and the end of the season, what do you think that you would like to see before you get to the Big East tournament?
I want to see our group continue to improve. We have to get better at communicating. And it's unfortunate that we're saying that, but that's one of the things that we lack player to player is communication. Communication is vital in success on the court, no matter what you do in life. But we have to be better communicating the command in order to sustain, whether you're on an 8-0 run, 10-0 run, 6-0 run, you know, trying to get stops and trying to execute.
Do you think that March coming will give this team a boost? Because, frankly, everybody's 0-0 once you get to New York. I know the stakes are different for each team, but do you think that you'll get more of their attention and more of the discipline with it being a one-and-done type of situation from this group?
As you know, we've been around each other most of the year now. I'm always optimistic, and I'm always looking at the glass that's not all half full but overflowing. I think March brings a different excitement. It brings a different vibe, right? And I do think tournament play brings out a different personality, and it is my hope that our players focus in on that. Yet we got 3 games before we get to that point. So, you know, how are we building up to make sure we're competitive and we compete in Madison Square Garden?
Heath and Bristol, seniors, they're on the way out the door. Could you give us some words about how it's been to coach those guys? I'm not Bristol, I'm sorry. Heath and Bristol. How it's been to coach those guys, how to work with those guys, and what they've given to the program in this senior year.
You know, this senior year, it's obviously, you know, individually they probably wanted more success. But I can tell you, you know, they've been everyday guys. They've been fun to be around. You know, they're going to graduate with a Georgetown degree. And, you know, as a dad, I'm proud of that. You know, 2 more young men that are going to move on, you know, in life with a Georgetown degree. And that's what you sign up for. You sign up to do this to change young people's lives. And with a Georgetown degree, you know, your life is headed in the right direction.
Did you have to re-recruit those cats when you arrived, or how was that process?
Did I have to re-recruit them? They wanted to be here.
Okay.
So it wasn't so much that you had to talk them into staying here. And, you know, they saw the value of what a Georgetown degree can be. So I think it was a mutual respect and a mutual understanding that they wanted to be here.
Are they part of the Cooley family going forward?
Always going to be part of the Cooley family. Always part of the Cooley family. Everyone in our organization, you know, again, it is a family atmosphere, and I'm excited to say that.
Good. Thank you.
Couple things to look for Georgetown tonight. One of the things is to slow Xavier down. Look for the Hoyas again to look to have a controlled type of pace here tonight. On top of that, if you remember the first game, the Musketeers, a lot of times when they would get Georgetown would make a shot, they would take the ball out so fast. Xavier would take the ball out so fast that they would get a layup on the other end after a made basket. I mean, it was pretty pitiful. I can tell you this much. They concentrated on that all week. Let's see if they can actually execute what they need to execute so it doesn't look like a youth game where you make a basket and you're standing and the other team runs down with the ball. The other key for Georgetown's free throw line. If you remember the first game, Georgetown had 21 free throw attempts, 22 free throw attempts against Xavier. This time around, it needs to be similar. So, again, if you're going to have a lower possession game, what does that mean to get to the free throw line? That's going to mean the transfer from defense to offense has to be quick. When you're in your offensive sets, get downhill, get 2 feet in the paint. The things happen when you get 2 feet in the paint and play off of 2 feet. Oh, and, with Supreme Cook, we've seen it all year. Throw it inside to him. That first time around, Epps had 11 free throws. He's 11-11 from the free throw line. So Georgetown getting points outside the structure of the offense, whether it's free throws, whether it's unscheduled points, will be a key tonight for a team that, as you can see, at times have struggled putting the ball in the basket. It's Marcus Washington from MTC Media with your